Do you want to practice your English? Do you want to listen to a real story? Easy to follow but powerful to feel? I know. Sometimes English feels difficult. Sometimes you want to give up. But today, you will learn in a different way. You will hear the true story of a boy who was bullied, a boy who felt alone, but a boy who never stopped dreaming. That boy became Elon Musk, and his dream was bigger than the world. Listen carefully. Follow the words on screen, and let this story inspire you while you practice your English. I was born in South Africa. The year was 1971. The place was Pretoria. My beginning was not like a fairy tale. It was complicated. It was noisy. It was full of shadows. My father was an engineer. My mother was a model and a dietitian. From the outside, people thought we had a normal family. But inside, it was different. There was conflict. There was distance. There was silence. I was a quiet boy. I did not fit in. I did not understand the world around me. Sometimes I felt invisible. Sometimes I wished I could disappear. But I had something special. I had imagination. I had curiosity. I had an inner world no one could touch. Books became my escape. Books became my best friends. When people ignored me, books spoke to me. When people hurt me, books healed me. I read everything I could find. I read science fiction. I read encyclopedias. I read about technology, rockets, and galaxies. I read for 10 hours a day, sometimes more. I did not just read words. I lived inside the stories. At school, life was painful. I was small. I was shy. I was different. The other kids noticed. They laughed at me. They pushed me. They attacked me. I remember walking in the schoolyard. I tried to keep my head down. But they still came. They hit me. They threw me to the ground. One day, they pushed me down the stairs. I hit my head. I lost consciousness. When I woke up, my face was swollen. My body was weak. My spirit almost broken, but not completely. Something inside whispered, "Don't let them win. Don't give them your dream. Keep your fire alive." That fire was space. Every night I looked at the sky. The stars were my secret friends. They never laughed at me. They never hurt me. They only shined. I asked myself big questions. Why are we here? Why only on this planet? Why not more? Why not bigger? Why not beyond? When I was 10, I discovered computers. It was love at first sight. The screen was like a window to creation, a window to possibility, a window to the future. I wanted to know everything. I wanted to control the code. I wanted to make something appear from nothing. So I learned. I learned alone, no teacher, no guide, just me, just a manual, just long nights. At 12, I created my first game. It was called Blaster, a simple game, a spaceship shooting lasers at alien ships. It was not perfect, but it was mine. I sold it for $500. $500. To many people, it was small. To me, it was a revolution. It was proof. I could create value. I could use my mind. I could build my future. Still, my home was not peaceful. My parents separated. The house felt cold. I felt lost between them. My relationship with my father was painful. It left scars, deep scars. But scars became part of my strength. I dreamed of leaving. I dreamed of a place with more possibilities. South Africa felt small. It felt closed. It felt like a cage. I wanted freedom. I wanted open skies. I wanted America. At 17, I made my decision. I left my home. I left my country. I left my past. I carried little with me. No fortune, no fame. Only dreams, only hope. Only the belief that life could be bigger. Canada was my first destination. I studied at Queen's University. But studying was only half my life. The other half was survival. I worked odd jobs, I cleaned, I served. I did what I had to do. Some days, I had only $1 for food. I ate hot dogs, I drank water. I went to bed hungry, but I never stopped. I never allowed hunger to kill my dream. I told myself again and again, this is only temporary. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Every night I imagined rockets. Every night I imagined cars that could change the world. Every night I imagined a future where humanity would live among the stars. Finally, I transferred to the University of Pennsylvania in the United States. It felt like a new planet. It felt like arrival. But arrival did not mean comfort. I shared small rooms. I slept on the floor. I borrowed computers. I worked part-time jobs. I pushed myself harder and harder. I studied economics. I studied physics. I studied more than anyone expected. Not because I wanted grades, but because I wanted answers. Because I wanted tools. Because I wanted to build. America was the land of dreams. But I was still a nobody. No family name, no money, no safety net. What I had was vision. What I had was hunger. What I had was fire. Every step was uncertain. Every step was heavy. But every step moved me closer. And inside me, the boy who dreamed of the stars was still alive. He was still whispering, "Don't stop. Look up. Keep going. The stars are waiting." When I finished my studies in America, I was still a nobody. No money, no family name, no protection. But I had energy. I had ideas. I had obsession. The internet was new. Most people didn't understand it. But I saw the future. With my brother, I created my first company, Zip2. It was simple, maps and business directories online. We lived in the office. We showered at the YMCA. We worked every hour of the day. Slowly, the idea grew. And then, a miracle. Compaq bought the company for hundreds of millions. I became rich. But money was not the goal. It was fuel. Fuel for bigger dreams. Next came X.com, an online bank. People laughed at me again, but I believed. X.com became PayPal. It changed how money moved on the internet. It changed how people trusted online business. And when eBay bought it, I had millions more. Millions that could buy luxury. Millions that could buy comfort. But I did not want comfort. I wanted change. I looked at the world and asked myself, what really matters for the future of humanity? I saw three things: the internet, sustainable energy, and space. The internet I had already touched. Now I wanted the other two. So I started Tesla, an electric car company. Everyone laughed. Electric cars are toys. Too slow, too ugly, too expensive. But I knew the world needed clean energy. I knew oil would not last forever. At the same time, I started SpaceX. The dream was even bigger: to make rockets reusable, to make space cheaper, to reach Mars. Again, people said I was crazy. Only governments can build rockets. You will never succeed. But I didn't listen. I built. I tested. I failed. The first rocket exploded. The second rocket exploded. The third rocket exploded. Each time, millions were lost. Each time, hope was smaller. I almost gave up. Tesla was collapsing. SpaceX was collapsing. I had no money left. I was close to bankruptcy. But I gave myself one last chance. The fourth rocket. If it failed, everything was over. The rocket launched. The rocket flew. The rocket reached orbit. It was success. The first private rocket in history to reach space. In that moment, everything changed. NASA called. Contracts came. Investors believed again. Tesla survived too. The Roadster was delivered. Fast. Beautiful. Electric. People started to believe in the future of cars, but survival had a price. Years of fear, years of sacrifice, nights without sleep, days of doubt. Still, I kept going, because my dream was bigger. Not just cars, not just rockets. My dream was humanity. I want humanity to have a future not limited to Earth, a future among the stars. That is why I work without rest. That is why I risk everything. That is why I never stop. Some people say I am crazy. Some people say I'm dangerous. But I know life is fragile. One war, one asteroid, one disaster, and humanity could disappear. So we must go further. We must become multiplanetary. We must dream bigger. I was the boy who dreamed of the stars. Now I am the man building the path to them. And if my story teaches you one thing, let it be this: never stop dreaming. Even when you fail, even when they laugh, even when it looks impossible, dream. Because dreams are the fire. Dreams are the bridge to the future. Look up, keep going. The stars are waiting for you too.